My video for September 13th, 2017 is entitled Catching Up, Brics and RV. Hurricane Irma, coupled with the loss of power and internet in my apartment, certainly put a strain on my normal flow. Even though I was able to get better sleep last night with the AC on, I still have quite a few unread emails, as well as checking recent comments on my videos. Thankfully, as I said in yesterday's special report, I will not lose the date sequence, although I will stop posting my videos the day before the actual date. As I said, that process began with my trip to Melbourne, Victoria, Australia in May 2016. Meanwhile, there is news that the BRICS nations are moving forward with the currency revaluation, RV, and even that the US is now on board under Donald Trump. I'm not sure of this, nor of what happened to the so-called restoration of the Organic Republic, as opposed to the corporate scam. According to some sources, the bankers are still very much in charge of the RV, and the criminal IRS will still be collecting taxes. Yeah, if it sounds like some confusion from that blurb, you're absolutely right. And also, as I said in the blurb, I'm still trying to catch up with internet problems. My backup battery apparently has to recharge. And when I turned the computer on this morning, it said that the battery was dangerously low, which means it's still running off the computer battery, not the backup battery. And I've had to realign the electrical connections to make both of my computers work again the way that they were working before all this conundrum with with Irma. And thankfully, the other hurricane seems to be moving out to sea and doesn't look like it's going to make any landfall, which is a good thing. But this BRICS thing is certainly catching my attention. The few emails that I did read were on that subject. I still have, probably 15 emails that are still unread. So I've caught up on most of them, but I'm still behind. Anyway, if Donald Trump and the corporate government are still in charge of how things transpire here in the U.S., nothing really has changed. We're still under a criminal government. We're still under a criminal monetary system. Even if it's gold backed, it's still run by the same people who have pulled the shenanigans in the first place back in the 19th century and then throughout the 20th century, where the bankers are the ones that run everything. And that's, according to some of the reports I read, again, I don't know what the reality is because there's always contradictions. And that's the problem for all of us, is determining which is the truth and which isn't. Now, I do believe it's true that the bankers do not want to relinquish control that they've had for such a long time. I mean, our country, speaking of the United States, has not been run by even the politicians. The politicians have taken orders from the international bankers. And this conglomerate of, I'm sorry, I know people get offended, but it's fake Jews. The Ashkenazi Jews are fake Jews. Now, that doesn't mean that all of them are bad. I'm not saying that. I haven't said that. If you've been listening to everything that I've said, without pulling something out of context and trying to make it say something that I'm not saying. But in any case, the Rothschilds are the public face, if you will. Not that they are very public, but they're the common name that we associate with the international bankers, because they were the ones back in the 18th century who took over or began to take over the international financial system and run it on behalf of, some say, the Jesuits or the Vatican, or who knows what the cabal and how deep its roots go, what it is and how deep its roots go. Who knows? There's lots of information out there, and what is true and what is false is difficult to determine when there's such an overload of contradictory information. And I, of course, want there to be an actual republic. I've been working on that for a long, long time with various groups. I have been involved in things that put money back into the hands of ordinary people and takes it out of the hands of those that want to control everything for their benefit. And if the RV happens and we get all of this wealth, but we're only allowed to use at the most 20% of it, and 80% has to be stockpiled somewhere and held by the bank so that they can continue to make interest on the money that's released. I mean, it's crazy, folks. I mean, I'm trying my best to get my head around it. And more importantly, I'd like to be able to get my heart into it, where I can see humanity being uplifted and our natural rights being restored, not just in the United States, but all over the world, where we could see people coming into their power again. And this cabal just simply removed. I mean, I've worked for that. That's what I've wanted. That's been my vision, my dream. And I'm hoping that somehow that is what is able to be brought into being. We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. What else can I say? I don't really have anything else to say, and I haven't even run my normal 10 minutes again, and I'm probably going to stop this. I am going to stop this video early. Certainly not. I'm not even going to wait for the 8-minute mark to get here. So thank you, folks, for listening, and I'll try to get back into a more normal flow within the next couple of days after I get everything settled with my computer and all. Thank you for listening, and namaste.